Hey guys, Mayflom here, and I'm really excited because today I am showcasing one of my new bottles from 28 Lilac Lane of embellishment mixes. This one is called Candy Corn and has yellows, whites, and oranges. And I actually think when you look at these colors, these could be great for anything where you want some really nice, bright, bold citrus colors. It could be great mixed and matched with other mixes. There's a lot of possibilities in here. But here, for my first project, what I want to do is cover this little frame. This is a little teeny tiny 2x3 frame. And what my plan is here, this back part actually does come out, believe it or not. But my plan is, I took this and covered it in white paper and put these little sentiments down so that when I gift it, and it has glass as well, I'm just not putting it on there right now. When I gift it, there'll be a little sentiment inside instead of being some random photo or being blank. So there'll be a little sentiment inside. So if the person that gets it wants to display it as is, they can. If they want to add in their own picture, they can. Easy as can be, and such a nice trick and way to use a few little stickers, but also make it so that if you don't have the perfect photo right now, you can still use it to display. So what I'm going to do, I am going to cover this entire frame, and I'm going to use PPA in matte finish. This is the adhesive I definitely prefer for these kind of projects. Now, I put a good amount of adhesive down, but there are a few empty spots. That's totally okay. And I'll want to go ahead and just make sure, I like working from a dish, but I can just make sure, and if the buttons are backing up, just give a little push so that the bigger ones stay back. Sometimes they kind of jam up in the center. I also find kind of doing a little bit of a twirl, there they go, kind of swirling it around helps too. But have a good amount out here, and then just start from one spot. There's a lot of different ways to do these frames. I know I've done a couple videos here, and I'll continue doing them because I absolutely love making these. But what you're going to want to do is go around and really just focus on buttons, okay, or whatever your biggest level of embellishments are. I have done these where I just do the pearls and the sequins and the beads, and I don't do any buttons at all. What you're not going to want to do is worry about the exact placement, or, you know, like I just put a bunch of yellow ones down. That's okay. Don't worry about that. You're not going to stress about colors, just like I'm not going to stress out if, for example, a bead or two gets in here already. That's totally okay. We don't have to worry about that at all. Oh, I like this big clear one. That's a fun one. So we're just going to go all the way around just like this. And this frame, this is a wood frame, and this is exactly the colors it was. I mean, this, I didn't do anything to it. It was kind of a distressed white little frame. And you can use a frame as is, or you can color it first with some acrylic paint or whatever it is you need to color it with ahead of time, if that's something you need to do. It isn't always, so that may not be something that you actually have to worry about or invest time in. You'll just really, I mean, really and truly, you'll need to take a look at what you've got and what you're up to and decide for yourself if you need to or not. Just like as I'm working here, another thing is to make sure on the bottom, whichever side is going to be the bottom, don't have things go over the edge. If this is going to be something that's going to stand on a tabletop, you don't want to do that. Now, once you've gone all the way around, you'll want to repeat this process, but this time with smaller elements. So if you have any teeny tiny buttons in there you want to use, that's great. Otherwise, sequins. In this kit, they're white sequins that are the 6mm or the larger size, and the littler ones are bright orange and so much fun. I'm really loving those. So you'll want to go in and just fill any, I would say, any spots that, you know, aren't quite big enough for a button, but you want something there. If you don't want to have any gaps, if you don't mind gaps, or if you think you want some on purpose, by all means leave them. That's another point too. You know, this is a white base frame, and I'm okay with the white showing through. If you were not wanting your base to show through, this would be a time to really make sure to catch all the little bits and pieces. But remember, don't worry, because after the adhesive dries, my little guy is just a slippery sucker. After the adhesive dries, you can always go back in and add more. And you know, this one, this particular mix, it'll go good with a lot of the other Lilac Lane mixes, to be honest. It would look great with, now I'm just going to kind of come in here to show you guys. I'm just going to sprinkle the beads, and I'm also going to sprinkle the tiny sequins. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them over. I'm not going to worry if they don't hit the mark or if they bounce off. at all because I can scoop them up. I can scoop up any extras. I'm working on a piece of cardstock intentionally so that any extras fall onto that cardstock and I can easily scoop them up when I'm all the way done. Anyhow, this mix, it works really well with a lot of the different existing mixes that I've got. Pumpkin Spice would be great. Hello Sunshine would be great. Those are a couple of bottles. You could mix it up with, oh goodness, I mean, honestly, you could mix it up with, it just depends on what kind of colors you want. If you wanted to add in some browns, if you want to add in some blues, I don't know, whatever colors you want. That's one of the fun things about these is that I love to see both playing with the mixes as they are, but then also mixing and matching bits and pieces from different ones with each other to create entirely new color combinations that I love to craft with. So this, once I'm all the way happy with this, I'm going to keep going a little more. But one of the things that may happen, and you may find yourself wanting to do, sometimes you might find spots where you're like, well, I mean, that's okay, but, you know, I really wish it had a little something extra. Well, guys, this is a photo frame. There's no reason why we can't put a couple more buttons, put a little adhesive right on there, and just, if you've got a spot like, now I'm not seeing where that spot was. Oh, okay, right here. If you've got a spot where there's just like kind of a lot of nothing, well, maybe you want to grab a button and little one, big one, doesn't matter, plop a little adhesive on it and plop it over the top. Make another layer. And then if there's some areas like right in here, I don't have any sequins or anything sticking because there's no, like, there's really no adhesive on this edge. So just add in a little more adhesive. It's okay if it gets over the top. That shouldn't be a problem at all. But if that happens, just add a little more in and go in. Ooh, look at all that fun stuff. Pick up a few more things and, you know, get right in there and sprinkle it on. Notice that if it doesn't stick, for example, if it lands on a spot where, on top of a button where there is no glue, all that's going to happen is when this is dry and you lift it up, that's just going to fall off. Okay, so don't worry about that. This kind of project, guys, I love these projects. I love button covered photo frames. It's one of my all-time favorites. So, and I'm absolutely loving this mix. And like I said before, you're going to see me all winter long doing stuff with citrus. I'm going to turn this into a more Thanksgiving kind of a feel. Then I'm going to turn it more citrusy for winter. And then into summer, it'll be a bright summer fun look. So never forget, even though, you know, original inspiration may be towards a holiday or seasonal, you can always take things and make them work for you year round. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. I will see you next time.